Hello, I'm Matt, and welcome to the Fractal Diaries podcast. This is a space dedicated to understanding and exploring non-ordinary states of consciousness. These can take many forms, but some that you may understand or identify with are synchronicities, visions, voices, and vivid dreams. In many traditional or Eastern cultures, these states are understood and appreciated, viewed through the lenses of mysticism or shamanism. However, often when we conceptualize these states in the West, we'll tend to view them through a more negative and pathological lens, viewing them as symptoms of mental health disorders. On this podcast, however, we'll be providing a non-pathologized perspective, allowing people with lived experience to share their stories and ideas and experiences of non-ordinary states freely in their own words and without stigma. I'll be sharing personal stories as well as tools and frameworks, and I'll be interviewing people with lived experience so we can explore a variety of maps and perspectives to better understand how people can navigate these fascinating dimensions of life. We'll be delving into the exciting works of visionary psychiatrists, transpersonal psychologists, and thought leaders from both the spiritual and scientific communities, as well as mental health activists working to improve the way that our healthcare system is designed to support people going through these types of experiences. The goal is to dig beyond the walls of diagnostic criteria, which can feel limiting to many, and to explore the vast ocean of understanding around non-ordinary states from a multidisciplinary perspective, seeking truth in different sources and domains. I'm Matt. I'm a freelance researcher. My background is in the sciences, with a degree in biology, chemistry, and psychology. And for the past 9 years, I've experienced non-ordinary states, which began with a spiritual emergence that I had in Thailand in January of 2014. I was traveling at the time, meeting a lot of new people. Obviously, I was in a new country. I was kind of listening to a lot of different perspectives, and my mind was more open. One night, whilst journaling on an overnight train, I had an expansive experience where my consciousness left my body. I'd never had anything like it. I was no longer me, I was just the universe experiencing itself. When I landed back in my body, my perceptions had completely changed. My world was filled with mystical energies and archetypes, and I felt deeply connected to those around me. It was like a horse had been born inside my psyche and was charging through my mind, taking me on a journey through my own soul. It was a wild ride, but I understood intuitively that it was really important that I let it happen. Guided and supported by mentors, messages, and synchronicities, I let the experience unfold. After days of traveling in and out of otherworldly domains, I woke up in a hospital bed feeling reborn and restored. Since then, my life has been filled with these non-ordinary experiences. I've had synchronicities, guiding visions and voices, precognitive dreams, out-of-body experiences, and regular journeys to dreamlike dimensions where I'll encounter guiding figures and archetypes. I've always appreciated these non-ordinary states and the extra dimension that they bring to my life, but they've also brought up great challenges. Simply put, our modern world is not equipped to support people going through these types of experiences. We lack diverse frameworks, and instead of understanding or exploring these terrains, we medicalize and pathologize the people going through them. When I first returned home and described what had happened to me, my experience was viewed through a solely medical lens. Rather than being trained or nurtured, my horse was tranquilized and sedated. I was given a diagnosis of bipolar disorder, put on prescription medication, and left to figure things out on my own. I learned that the words that we use to describe these states have a real impact. They shape how our experiences manifest, and they shape how our society reacts to us for having them. These diagnostic boxes can be dogmatic, and they become literal and locked if you try and fight against them. So the aim of this podcast is to help us collectively unlock those doors, digging beyond the walls of dogma and holding space for a wide variety of perspectives, philosophies, and cosmologies. We don't aim to diagnose or to prescribe, but to explore and to educate. Through sharing frameworks, stories, and mentors, I hope that we can really illuminate the light in the dark and show the great work that's happening out there in the field and encourage more of it. Hidden in the confusion and the pathology and the systemic problems surrounding non-ordinary experiences is a forgotten magic. There's a beautiful world in there that I think we can and should return to. I think it's on all of us who've had these non-ordinary experiences to share our perspectives and our stories and educate those around us to help make the process easier and more welcoming and nurturing for the next generation. I hope through conversation and exploration, we can shift the narrative around these experiences, encouraging understanding of these terrains and equipping people with lived experience with the tools and frameworks they need to reclaim their own narratives, name and tame their own horses, and learn to ride them well. If you find this perspective valuable, I'd love for you to join me in helping get people's stories out there. You can follow the podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple, and subscribe to the mailing list at fractaldiaries.com. If you have any feedback or suggestions, suggestions, or if you've had any non-ordinary state experiences yourself that you'd love to share, please do get in touch and leave a comment at matt@fractaldiaries.com. Together, I hope we can transform these non-ordinary states into extraordinary realities. Thank you.